The views and opinions expressed by guests on this podcast are solely their own and do not represent the position of the host, this show, or any organization either party is affiliated with. All content is shared purely for educational and inspirational purposes. Nothing discussed here constitutes professional advice. Listeners are encouraged to independently verify any information before acting on it. The host is not responsible for any outcomes resulting from guest statements. By listening, you agree that you are solely responsible for how you use the information shared. Welcome to the Tech Sharmit podcast, where technology is not just news, but the roadmap to the future. This is a space where we explore the latest tech trends, AI, startups, gadgets, and the ideas that redefine the way we think. Leading this conversation is Amit Sharma, globally recognized as Tech Sharmit. A technologist from Bharat, Amit brings an Indian perspective to the global technology landscape. With deep technical expertise and strong industry insight, and for his contributions and impact within the global tech community, he has been recognized with several prestigious honors, including Google Developer Expert, Microsoft MVP, IBM Champion, and Planet Mainframe Influencer. Through this podcast, he shares practical knowledge, real-world perspectives, and globally relevant thinking designed to help you stay ahead in an ever-evolving technology landscape. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Tech Sharmit channel to stay updated with future episodes. And if you're looking to level up your skills, don't forget to explore the Tech Sharmit digital course book in the description box, where you'll find thousands of free programming courses curated to help you grow as a developer. So plug in your headphones and join us as we begin today's episode of the Tech Sharmit podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tech Sharmit podcast. Today I am joined by another very special guest, Goloknath Mishra, who is joining us from Bharat. Originally he is from Bharat, and if I talk about Goloknath, then he is a Microsoft MVP, a digital transformation architect with more than 15 years of experience and a Microsoft certified trainer. So, in today's episode, we will talk about digital transformation realities, enterprise architecture, AI impact, and what it truly takes to succeed in this space. But before we get started, I would like to thank Goloknath for joining us today in this episode. And now I request you to please initiate the discussion by telling us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, hi, thank you. Thank you very much to invite me in this discussion. As you rightly mentioned, yes, this is Goloknath. I have around 15 plus years of experience supporting in the digital transformation, and mostly I do in the Microsoft space. It's not like I have done only Microsoft space. Earlier, in a earlier career, I have done also in Oracle and other stuffs, but major span of my work, it's all about on Microsoft technology.
Microsoft.
Yeah, in that note, over to you.
Okay, all right. So yeah, if we look at your career profile, so we can clearly say that you have built an impressive 15 years of a career in IT architecture. So I just wanted to know about the initial days. Like, what was the moment that you realized that yes, Micro Dynamic 365 and the Power Platform were going to be the space you wanted to own in the future?
Okay, let me answer this question in this way. To be very honest, Microsoft Dynamics, to be very honest and I will say very open way, it's
Okay.
not by profession, by choice, it's by chance.
Okay.
It's not like I selected this Dynamics 365, and when I embark on Dynamics 365, it's all about I never look back to anything else. Because earlier, to be very honest, I'm basically Microsoft. I'm not, my branch is electrical engineering. I'm an electrical engineer. So my work started like, you can imagine, it's all about electrical engineer. When my early career days, I was an electrical engineer. I know AutoCAD, and slowly I transitioned to map, the navigation and all those stuffs, ArcGIS and all those. Then from there, database, then .NET, subsequently it switched to Dynamics. And from Dynamics, I started working Dynamics 4.0. So 4.0, 11, 13, 15, 16, 365. I saw all the transformation. And then now it is Power Platform. I will say roughly 8 years before, it's all about Power Platform, and now it's towards agentic and Copilot Studio era, what I observe. Yeah, this is how transition is all about. It's not like I want to do that, but rather I got the projects like that to do, and this is where I moved to.
I really like this honest answer. And I think you are also an inspiration for all those like who are from the different background. Like you are also from electronic backgrounds, and then you join the IT industry, and now everyone know like how much you have contributed to this industry. So Goloknath, like someone is there, let's say, who is also from other domain, and especially in the era of AI, like everyone got influenced with the IT sector. They wanted to know more about it, and they, let's say, if they wanted to pursue their career into IT, so what could be the do's and don'ts you would suggest for them if they are switching from one domain to another, like electrical or maybe from other background?
Okay, so domain switching, I feel, to be very honest, it's not a problem. And just to highlight, along with my current job, I do pro bono, in Singapore. I'm staying in Singapore, so Singapore Institute of Management, I am also career advisor. So
Okay.
basically, pro bono, I'm doing career advisory. Exactly what you asked, the students also asked the same question because
Mm-hmm.
they came from different background and they want to jump to the IT field. So what I feel, changing to IT field is not a problem at all, because
Okay.
IT is never isolated. IT and OT, I typically say information technology and operational technology, IT and OT is always inculcated. And whenever you go for any IT projects, you are trying to solve any business problem.
Correct.
And business problem was never a IT problem. Business problem is all about their day in, day out problem, which you
Correct.
are trying to solve the way to bring them more productivity. And this is where I feel, and definitely there is a chance any point of time there is a requirement. If I see some projects, let's say, I'm giving one typical example. If I'm going to support any insurance industry and industry's point of view, definitely I need some insurance industry SME who can help me to understand and all these things. This is where the IT roles also still there exist
Correct.
for them, so they can help and they know the functionality, and this is
Yes.
where both can coexist. Yep. And that
Yeah.
note.
And I think this is the same for, let's say, if someone is working in already in IT and they wanted to switch from one technology to another, because nowadays everyone is more focused about the business requirement, because syntaxes are the things like that can be learned by the time within a few seconds, especially nowadays, like everyone can write a prompt and they can get a curriculum and learn the technology. But if you have command on the business requirement, you know like how to gather the information and implement the thing, then I think it's easy for you to internally switching the technology as well. So I think this is
Yep.
a
Yep.
great point you just shared.
Yep.
Okay, so now like we'll talk about your overall experience, because after 15 years of tech architecting transformation project, what do you think, like what's the single biggest reason these kind of transformation project fails? What do you think, like what are the scenarios, and how do you help client to avoid those kind of obstacles that they might face when they are transforming their projects?
Okay. I think you have asked a very big question and vast question. It's an open-ended question, typically I say in
Okay.
my terminology, because it's varies from customer to customer, but maximum, to be very honest, I see the major challenge, like you asked, the biggest reason, what I observe is all about the translation gap between
Okay.
strategy and execution. Between strategy and execution, typically I put in this way because actually, uh, you know there are organization, the senior executives, they thought in their point of view, and
Mm-hmm.
who are working in the ground level, they think in their point of view. For example, senior executive always think, I want my system to be cloud first, I want my system to be data driven, I want to increase my agility by so and so percent and all these things. But ground reality, when you go to field, the ground people who are really working on the operation side, and they have a very minimal problem, that okay, my so and so system does not have any APIs or does not have any connectivity, and that is the reason I'm not able to get the information. I'm still maintaining my Excel sheet. This kind
Yeah.
of problem I have. And you imagine what is the vision leadership has and what ground reality is all about. This is where actually major challenge is all about. All are not in the same page. And to do that, basically, what my thought is, um, rather you think outcomes over output, because clients often obsessed with certain kind of tools or technology.
Right.
And in that point of view, we should build a business capability model actually. I will say business capability, not model, rather mapping what
Mm-hmm.
exactly it is there. If a technical feature, for example, does not directly map to a specific product or specific product to the business capability, in that point of view, put it in the backseat. For example, you are considering certain product or certain tools or technologies to consider, and this is where the leadership's direction. But you cannot position that product because it is not fitting. It's all about apple versus orange, what I'm expecting versus expectation versus reality. And this is where exactly I put the deprioritize those kind of thing. And
Okay.
then next is, another thing is, don't think in a big bang way. The
Mm-hmm.
organization think, I will do a change, like drastic change I'll do. Actually, drastic change never got the outcome. So rather,
Correct.
instead of thinking in a big bang changes, rather think very small. Because end user, let's say, as I'm highlighting, the first user who is working in the ground level, he has a problem statement. You solve that problem statement, thinking your vision. I'm
Correct.
not saying you stick to that solving the problem. Don't think the bigger picture, but you start where you get the ROI.
Mm-hmm.
The when the ground level people understand, basically you no need to do too much of change management process, because you have to
Correct.
go for the changing. You have to forcing someone or them that, okay, you do this, you do that, and other things. Instead of that, you fix their problems on your way, what way you are thinking, because I'm assuming you are embarking on this transformation because to fix the problem, business problem, not to
Correct.
implement the IT system. Okay, that's what, again, it varies from person to person. They may say, okay, I want to do overarching capacity, but what I feel it's all about, solve a small problem, get the ROI, then extend it slowly to the bigger picture. I'm not
To the
saying
bigger.
stop it
Yeah.
there. Okay,
Hmm.
go slowly towards the larger landscape. And this is where actually it will give the benefit.
Correct. And if we talk about from the perspective of companies, let's say there are some company who reach out to you and they simply say that we want it to go through the digital transformation. So what do you think? Like, what's the first hard truth you are going to tell them that they weren't expecting to hear when they are talking about digital transformation? And what few things you are going to share with them as a company?
Okay, to answer on this question, this basically what I feel normally, the thought process, digital transformation is always transformation office comes with this idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I think nowadays the mindset is changing, to be very honest and very open on that. What
Mm-hmm.
I feel earlier days, the thought process was like they have certain technology in the mind. Digital transformation mean people always thinking, okay, I will do this system implementation. It's always backed behind the scenes, some technology or some products or some thought process in the back of the mind. Maybe I want to enable AI across. Maybe I want to unify my data across. This is
Mm-hmm.
where actually the thought process earlier. But now it's all about, so it's not only thinking a product or that specific. Basically, digital transformation is a not a technology project. That's what I'm trying to highlight. It's a organizational identity crisis. You
Correct.
imagine, right? Because it's a digital transformation you are doing means you are going to hit every nook and corner of your organization, and you want to unify, you want to solve the problem across, and it will be a matters actually within the organization across. Okay, so in
Okay.
that point of view, if all are not in the same page, then if current culture is not that acquainted, what I'll say, I typically think in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Your culture is the biggest technical debt, basically, what I'm trying to highlight. There are some point of view, what I see, the IT folks within the organization, I'm not naming, there are some organizations where their IT folks, they have certain software in their mind,
Mm-hmm.
and they put, I have I have this best software in the world, this is the best in the world. But if you think in a middle management is basically they don't want to embark on that because they feel,
Correct.
okay, what I'm doing, I'm the best. And currently I'm doing in a good way. Why you
Mm-hmm.
want to change this? It's all about, I think, to position best. My subordinates thinking, I want to go with whatever it is there. I'm best at that. I'm good at that. In that
Mm-hmm.
point of view, there's a cultural gap. Okay. And basically, you cannot automate a mess. When there is a mess, means there is a knowledge, there is a huge gap in the knowledge
Correct.
within the leadership, within the layers of the organization. It's not like you are fixing the problem, rather you are creating a big mess actually.
Yeah.
If you want automate a system, so what it will do, it is a digital chaos kind of thing it will create.
Correct.
Okay. And that point of view, that's what I feel. Uh, don't feel that, okay, there is something, okay, I have done this work, my work is done. No,
Mm.
it's not. Typically there is no done word within the IT industry or digital transformation.
Correct. So just don't
Yeah,
do this
it's
for
all
the
about,
sake of doing it. Correct.
yeah, correct, correct. Basically
Oh,
they have certain KPIs or thought process and they keep on to doing that.
right.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, moving ahead, like we'll talk about the growth of Dynamics 365 because we can clearly see that Microsoft Dynamics 365 keep evolving rapidly, right? So if someone asks you about the future-proof architecture, so how do you future-proof an architecture that you are designing today against the capabilities that will exist after two years from now, especially considering the AI scenarios also, because nowadays everyone is talking about AI. So, do you think it is impacting the Microsoft Dynamic 365 also? How do you see the future?
Okay, I think you hit in the right place. So if I say in a Microsoft stack of technology, it's not like I am into Microsoft technology.
Uh-huh.
I'm seeing this, and I think 70 or 80% people will agree. Future proofing in Microsoft ecosystem is like building a house in the coast of sea, and which is
Right.
hardly 100 years. It will like take, when one big wave will come, everything will be flushed away. And this is how is
Definitely.
all about Microsoft technology. And whoever working in that space, you must know something coming up new and very after 3 months, okay, it is gone because
Correct.
it's scrapping, new technology is coming on. So in that point of view, I don't want to reinvent the wheel, but rather what I'm trying to suggest, or I want to give the insights, because it's all about their strategy, how they want to position and their market, target market. But looking into that, what I feel is all about, now it's agentic world, rightly, as I mentioned, you rightly highlighted. So it cannot be, we have to think the clean core strategy.
Mm-hmm.
If the certain logic can be satisfied using, for example, as you told Microsoft, to concentrate
Yeah.
on data hours or automate and all those things, if it is possible, then think in that point of view, not like old way, like robust, not robust, typically it's not the correct word, I will say. It's a monolithic kind of thing, C sharp plugin and develop all this deploy, it's gone. You cannot
Correct.
get that space of life. And then next is form based to intent based. Now it is nothing is form based, it's all about intent. And this
Correct.
is where agentic is moving towards. And last but not least, no APIs. I think more or less you agree. There is no APIs world. It's all about MCP, model context protocol, and
Correct.
everyone is talking about that. And this is how actually I will say. But to be very honest, as I quote unquote I mentioned in Microsoft suite of technology or anything, it's all about, I'm taking next 5 years, maybe next 10 years, maybe, but definitely I cannot say after 100 years what will happen, 50 years what will happen. Okay, things are changing so rapidly.
Yeah, and I think certainly like people will resonate with these two things. One is building the house in the sea coast, and second thing you just shared about the API. So I think this is something that everyone will agree, and I think yeah, these are the point that especially those who are planning to start their career into this field, they should know and they should consider that as well. Okay, so now, Goloknath, like we talked about a few of the core technology on which you worked upon your initial days. Now, I'd like to talk a bit about your another role because beyond these professional role, you are also contributing as a community leader because you are
Yep.
running Microsoft user groups in both Singapore as well as in Odisha simultaneously. So my first question is like, how do you keep both communities engaged, and are there any maybe surprising cultural difference in how each community learn and concepts, because you have exposure for both community, Singapore as well as Odisha, which is in Bharat, right? So what
Yep.
similarities do you find when you are interacting with the community?
Okay, to be very honest, in that point of view, community is definitely one of the thing I really love to. I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely it's one of the part which, okay, earlier days I was doing different communities and other things, but communities in technology and all these things, I will say I just want to name one person which is Prashant Shukla.
Mm-hmm.
He is out of Australia, and he is also mentor for my MVP journey, to be very honest with you. And this is where actually he given, okay, you are doing this, and this is one of the thing. And literally I never thought this is also one kind of community work. Technology also you can help people's.
Correct.
And this is where actually it literally rejuvenated me, and this is where I'm continuing across. Now coming back to your question, Singapore and
Odisha,
this,
yeah.
because Singapore, Odisha is my birthplace and Singapore is my workplace. Basically, both are my parts and parcel of my life. And as I'm based out of Odisha, so that's why I'm able to drive in Odisha. And it's not like I'm driving in support of other community leads.
Okay.
And this is where it is. And Singapore, as I'm there, I'm staying currently, and I can drive by myself along with support with other community leaders also.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason.
All right. And other than this community, like you are also contributing as a Microsoft certified trainer, MCT.
Yep.
So, what do you think? Like, what's the most persistent misconception people come in with about the Power Platform or Dynamic 365? So, as a Microsoft certified trainer, you have interacted with so many community members. So, what are the common misconception you found, and how do you correct when you are interacting with different mindset of people?
Okay, so minimum, I will say the major people have the thought process that
Mm-hmm.
okay, Microsoft Dynamics and Power Platform, it is all about, they feel it's a different
Mm-hmm.
suite of technologies, suite of tools.
Mm-hmm.
Power Apps for form building or apps building, BI is for chat building or dashboard building or report building, and Dynamics is like the sales service folks always talks. It's a business folks talks.
Yeah.
So what I want to enforce or inculcate is all about, don't think it's like a learning tool, rather you think it is a orchestration layer.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if I see in a current context also, if you notice, what is the future is all about data and AI. Okay,
Yeah.
so typically data, I'm just going to the core of that, because
Mm-hmm.
data is the key of any system. Now, you imagine within an organization, anyone want to allow to give their data, if it is the classification, it's a different thing. It's all
Correct.
about security, confidential, and all these things. And everyone want to revolve around data.
Right.
The operation guy asking to generate a report, I need my data. The
Right.
system sales guy in start of the day, he want his data first to do any operations. Where I visited yesterday, today where I will visit. And the
Correct.
service also same. Where is the data? Where is the feedback? Where is the complaint? Where is the whatever things are there? And similarly, the marketing folks also, they need data. Okay, they need the maximum data. That okay, these customers are there. Just grab them and
All
reach
kind of
out to them.
data. Yes.
Yeah, if they don't have, basically everyone is revolving around data. And if positioning, you are learning Dynamics 365 or Power Platform, you start from Dataverse. That's what I'm trying to highlight. Dataverse is a orchestration layer. Your
Correct.
Dynamics is sitting there, your Power Platform also there, and Dataverse is holding everything, giving a unified insights. And your Dynamics is a bunch of, it's a different apps, Power
Mhm.
Apps you are building. Maybe managed. Microsoft is managing that. It's not exposed, but it's all about pre-built Power Apps typically. Okay, it is sitting on top of Dataverse, and this is
Correct.
where Dynamics 365 is all about. Now the second thought process is low. People have a thought process. Okay, low code means, no, it's not that good. The governance is not good. Another thing, it's not like that. Low
Hmm.
code doesn't mean that low governance. Typically, low code also can be its own governance, like COA toolkits. There are a lot of things there. Now Agent 365 also came looking into the agentic part. So
Yes.
low code does not mean the low governance. And Power BI, uh, people think, okay, Power BI is the window. Okay, so basically, this is what is all about. People have to change their mindset. Power BI, they feel this is my screen or something I'm building. But you have to think everything is sitting behind the thing is the data.
Hmm.
And you are playing with the data, and you think you have a orchestration layer, you are learning. You are learning a layer where you can do what you want. You can build app, you can build mobile app, you can build agents, you can build reports, you can
Correct.
build everything. You have to think in that way, not like individual product wise.
Okay.
Then actually digital transformation whole picture will be, people, different people think in a different way. That's
Yes.
why the is all about. You have to think the holistic picture. Then you can understand, okay, what I will position for what purpose and what problem I have and how to solve that. Okay, that's what I'm trying to have.
Correct. And I think to prepare and to come up with this kind of picture and mindset, you need these communities again, like which you are running in Odisha and Singapore. Because when you are interacting with community member, then you will talk about some alternatives, some best ways, use cases, and then you came to know about all the possible scenarios that you can implement and consider while working with this domain.
Yep, yep.
Okay, so now, Goloknath, we will talk about one of the most hot topic nowadays, that is artificial intelligence, because everyone is talking about it, and particularly if we talk about Microsoft, then everyone is using Copilot nowadays. So with Copilot and AI being deeply integrated in the Power Platform, what do you think? Like, are we really heading toward a world where citizen developer will replace professional architects, or does the complexity always win when we are dealing with such kind of operations?
Okay, it's a debate. I will say it's a debate is going on. By the way, just I published one article in I have a newsletter, AI Innovation Chronicle. I
Okay.
just published one newsletter where exactly Gartner told the same thing. Gartner just proposed. You can Google also. The
Mm-hmm.
Gartner's saying is those organizations remove the resources and 50% will going to hire around 2027. That's what it's all about. It's prediction. Why?
Okay.
Because of AI, people have been laid off. And by 2027, out of them, 50% will again hire. And not only hiring, they will hire with even more salary and other
Packages.
things.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, this is what actually the prediction is all about, Gartner. You can Google also. So it's all about AI. Yes, I agree with you. AI has gusted the market like anything. But what my thought is all about, still AI has made definitely building easy. I can
Mm-hmm.
build easily. I agree with that. But there is a coherence is required.
Correct.
Okay. And that coherence cannot be, AI cannot bring. It can bring up to some level, but still human in the loop is really required. And
Correct.
that's where it's all about required a human, when there
Yeah.
is a human only can do that part of thing. And this
Correct.
is where I feel the complexity always wins. And it's the market is definitely going to be lean. There are sometimes we eat too much and we gain too much of fat. And
Right.
I always think in a correlation in a real life, typically. That's why I'm just
Yes.
giving this example. We eat too much and we gain too much of weight. My BMI should be around, for example, my weight should be around 50 kg, but I have now 80 kg. So
Yeah.
now I have to gym and reduce that 30 kg by anyhow. And this is what it is happening actually,
Correct.
because company has a lot of additional layers, and that additional overheads or layers, whatever you can say, they can optimize because of the AI. Okay, but it's not like human is moving away from the picture. Rather, it will be kind of lean.
Leaning towards the AI. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
not lean. I'm saying lean. Lean technology. You're technologically lean. LEAN means it's all about uh,
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
sufficient, how much it is required.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so although like we have plenty of things that we can discuss with you, Goloknath, but we have limited time and we are short on time. So I just want to take one more question regarding the technology, and it's a bit hypothetical question. Let's say if you could redesign how enterprise RT architecture is taught from scratch across India or maybe across another country. So what would you throw out and what would be double down when you are preparing the curriculum for that? What is your opinion here?
Again, I think this part we already discussed. It's all about I'm saying the architecture, how the world is moving towards. It's all about agentic literacy and metadata engineering. It's all about required because data, as it's all about, that's
Data,
why
yes.
I quote unquote data and AI. These two
Correct.
are the reality. And maybe there are byproducts are there, but to be very honest, AI means I'm not saying you stick to only LLM and other things. I'm generalized saying artificial intelligence. It's all
Mm-hmm.
about human intelligence is there along with that artificial intelligence plus their data.
Correct.
And this is where actually it is going to help. And that's why the architecture standpoint, I want to change it like agentic literacy is definitely required in enterprise architecture without thinking traditional, so people earlier days we say um, the word actually we use, right? The system of engagement, system of record, system of integration,
Mm-hmm.
and system of platform of the data, and all these system of record, system of this, those are silo words. It is not going to work out actually. In future it's not like system of engagement, system of record. It's all about the unification of the system of record, system of engagement. Then only you can get seamless insights out of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically it's a governance as code. Typically the change we have to thought process, we have to change. It's not like SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, we say, right? Software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service.
Yes.
Rather, it should be any out of any of these three, customer as a service. I think you can Google this word. This is already taken the space into the market. It should be customer as a service. Customer can select small one, may not select any platform.
Right.
Basically, the problem, the core is the solving the problem. Core is not the positioning any technology.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I feel. Change need to be.
Okay, fine. I think now we have discussed too many technical things. I think now it's the right time to talk bit about the support of network, because in everyone's life we feel that yes, behind every person's there are support of network who were there when the time in the time of need, right? So looking back on your own career, like who were the key people around you who had a defining impact on your journey so far?
To be very honest, there are a lot of people were there. To naming, it's like for me, it's all about uh, my life is my lesson. That is first thing. Typically, I
Mm-hmm.
will say, to be very
Okay.
honest, if I want to write, I can write a book also on that. Anyways, that is first part. Then second, coming back to the persons who really impacted and given the shape to the life. When I was in Mumbai, I cannot. I think it's uh, Prasad sir. There is one IT head I was working earlier, Prasad Sali. He literally guided moving towards my dynamics space. Actually,
Okay.
to be very honest, earlier I was .NET, that kind of guy, and there was product earlier one company implemented. I'm not going to name. It's a big
Mhm.
four. I think more or less you understand who are the big fours.
Yeah.
Out of big four, one organization implemented, and that point of view they left. And who will take up that project and that product and look after the any changes, any issues? And this is where it came to me. And after that, I never looked back. And that's Prasad sir is the first person helped in this. And next is in my parents, my
Yes.
wife
Exactly.
definitely supporting. Without them, I cannot spend time. Now also I'm recording, and my wife
Correct.
is taking care of the kid and other things. And this is where actually the family is the biggest supporter of
Yes.
anyone. And as I singly called out, to be very honest, the support point of view, Prashant Sukla was there in the community engagement and literally giving me another it literally has given me another spectacles. Okay, you look life in this angle. And this is
Mm.
where actually he added. And now after that, I will say my all previous bosses within the organizations where I worked.
Yes.
Typically, I will say that's all from my end.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I think before concluding this discussion, I just wanted to know a bit about the country you belong from. So, as a
Yep.
proud citizen of India, Bharat, what do you think? Like, what's the one best thing about Bharat that you feel proud to share with the global audience? Because this podcast will be consumed by the global audience. So, what one thing that is close to your heart that you would like to share with others?
Okay, I think to talk about India, to be very honest, there is words has no limit. To be very honest, I will just call out my our old sloka Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This
Yes.
is one of the greatest learning what I learned from. That is again inherited from Indian culture and other things. So whole world is a one family,
Family.
and this is
Yes.
how we have to think. It's not like India, not like Singapore, or not like something like that. We have to think whole world is a one family. And in that point of view, everyone should support whenever every one is needed. Now coming, this is all about our values, our cultures. Now moving towards the current tech stacks, I will say I really like the how India is developing basically, because by the way, I have done recently the fintech management from I am Nagpur, and I literally like the India stack. How India is building up the India stack, the technology stack, right? It's building
Yeah.
like UPI, your fintech innovation, all the India stack, technology stack.
Correct.
You plug the fintech ecosystem, plug the UPI and digital infrastructure, and how it is building, and now it is investing on AI. It's literally moving towards on the right space. And last but not the least, the other agencies like ISRO. I literally like, to be very honest,
Mhm.
ISRO, DRDO, and all those. I deeply follow. So this is where actually I feel, yeah, India is. As I mentioned, there is no words to
Words
limit.
to display.
I'll
Yeah.
call out this. Yep, that's more than enough.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, yep. Thank you so much, Goloknath, for joining us today in this episode and for sharing so much information. I'm sure those who are watching this episode, they will find it very insightful and they will learn a lot from your journey as well. So, thank you once again for being a part of this show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for the invite.
Thanks.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.